Dio, the city of lights once. Late-night TV has dulled into something different now. A platform for condescending monologues and political chastisement masquerading as comedy. Jimmy Kimmel, Live, that stalwart of laughter and cultural acuity, now exists on Quards, canned laughter, and Twitter outrage. But the people, oh, the people, they've shifted. They no longer hunger for scripted laughter. They crave sincerity, unfiltered truth, a voice that isn't scripted, but guided by the heart. And in this cultural dry spell, to rescue a show that's drifting into obscurity, the Jimmy Kimmel Live team took a risk. They brought in a legend, Sylvester Stallone, the symbol of perseverance, toughness, and heart, to promote his new film. It's not only a tale of a boxer, but of a man who stands up to time, age, and cynicism to get in the ring again and ignite a fire in the next generation. Stallone didn't attend, however, just to peddle a movie. He brought something more potent than any punchline. EU truth. Not the validity of trending tweets or cable news punditry, but the kind you win with blood, with struggle, with 1,000 setbacks and yet getting up again. The lights shone bright, the cameras kept rolling, the music blared. But within that studio there was tension that waved like the stillness before a fight bell. Stallone sat down, cool, collected, eyes keen like a fighter, gauging his opponent. And sitting across from him, Kimmel grinned, confusing fame with deference, believing Stallone had appeared to go along. "Ladies and gentlemen," Kimmel declared with forced enthusiasm, "please welcome the man who punched his way through all of Rocky's and Rambo's villains, Sylvester Stallone." The crowd erupted. Not a friendly greeting, a roar. "Sly, Sly, Sly!" They chanted like spectators in an ancient pugilist arena. Stallone stood gesturing, his vigor subdued but authoritarian. Even at almost 80, the man exuded presence. Kimmel's grin skipped a beat. He could sense it, the power switch. Sitting down, Kimmel launched into what appeared to be a joke, but the jab came in rapid fire. "So, Sylvester, you've been playing all these heroes on screen, but off-screen, you're buddies with Trump, right?" It wasn't curiosity. It was a trap, a punch wrapped in the guise of a question. Laughter oozed from the crowd, primarily from the show's liberal supporters, but most remained quiet, wondering what would happen next. Stallone didn't blink. No nerves, no fury, only a hint of a smile, the kind that indicates, "I've heard worse and endured better." "Jimmy," Stallone started, his tone steady, earthy. "You want to discuss politics? I want to talk about what brings people together. My movie is about a man who fights not for power, but for what he believes in. Not votes, not headlines. Heart." It landed like a clean jab. Director: "True." The audience responded with applause, not out of obligation, but admiration. Kimmel shifted in his seat. His smirk faltered. He wasn't accustomed to being rebutted this way, but he pressed on. "Oh, come on, Sly. You've appeared at some pretty straight-ticket gatherings. Are you attempting to be Rambo for real? Attempting to bring back all that America first thing?" He winked at the audience, trying to prompt laughter. A few did laugh weakly, but others glared, intrigued, fascinated, attracted to Stallone's poise. Stallone did not raise his voice. He didn't need to. "Jimmy," he said slowly, "I've received letters from individuals who saw Rocky while living through the worst moments of their existence. They didn't ask me for whom I voted. They thanked me for reminding them that they could believe in themselves again. You call that politics? That's just being human." The woman in the first row stood on her feet, applauding. "That's correct, Sly," she yelled. Kimmel was speechless. His well-crafted introduction shattered. All right. Kimmel attempted to defuse the situation. "Let's discuss this new movie. It's what? Rocky 10th. People these days demand flying superheroes and computer magic, not geriatric punches." It was a low blow, an age swipe, a legacy jab, the suggestion that authenticity no longer sells. But Stallone's smile grew wider, not defensive, poised. "You think a boxing film is passé?" he inquired, his head cocked. "Go tell that to the single dad sitting there with his child showing him what it's like to get back up. Or to the woman who defeated cancer and wrote to me saying Rocky made her strong. It has nothing to do with fists. It has everything to do with the fight within." The crowd went wild. Cheers. Standing ovation. Kimmel blinked hard, attempting to regain control of the show. But Sly, he pushed his voice a notch higher now. "Let's face facts. You're nearly 80. Don't you think it's time to retire the gloves? Audiences crave new blood. Boys like Hemsworth. Isn't playing the hero at your age tiresome?" The studio emitted a few stilted chuckles, but those were drowned out instantly by murmurs of disapproval. Stallone didn't miss a beat. "Jimmy," he said, and a smile spread wide on his face, "I still lift more than you, and I wager that I can outrun you in dress shoes." Roars of laughter passed through the crowd. A man in the front shouted, "Co! Kimmel attempted to laugh, but it failed to make its way to his eyes. I'm not saying you're not strong, Kimmel spoke hastily, but times change. Perhaps people no longer want what Rocky symbolizes. Stallone leaned forward. His eyes blazed, not with rage, but with passion. People want hope, Jimmy. That never grows old. I've met followers ranging from 8 to 80 who saw themselves in my life. People knocked down by life, but not broken. That's whom I fight for. And I'll continue to fight on a screen and off. The audience stood up again. Sly, sly, sly. Like a roll of thunder through the studio. Kimmel attempted to make some ground back. But don't you think you're peddling a fantasy? No, Stallone stated bluntly. I'm peddling truth. That life is difficult, but you can get back up. That's what's lost in Hollywood today. You substituted heart for hashtags, silence, and then a burst of applause so heavy it rocked the set. Kimmel sat back, visibly stunned. And then Stallone brought the final blow. You know, Jimmy, he said, standing now, eyes fixed on the host. You've made this place a stage for division. You mock, you label, you push an agenda. I came here to speak about fighting for something greater. Perhaps it is time you ask yourself, who are you inspiring? The audience erupted. A few of them were in tears. One man in the back whispered to his wife, that wasn't an interview. That was a reckoning. Jimmy Kimmel sat quiet, the laughter dead, the applause no longer his. And Sylvester Stallone, the fighter, the storyteller, the truth teller, stood tall, undefeated.